Hello, it's Tisha, and you were tuning in to Tisha Talks live at 4:45. Hey, Conrad. Always a pleasure seeing you on. Thank you for being here. And if you are like Conrad and you are joining me here today on Tisha Talks Live this Tuesday, then definitely give me a shout out in the comments. Say hello, say what's up, say groovy, just like Louisa Melendez says to me up on LinkedIn. And away we go. So if this is your first time tuning in, Tisha Talks Live is something that I challenged myself to do last September. And it is a live stream that I create, that I come up with the topics and so forth. And I air it at 4:45 Arizona time every Tuesday and Thursday. It literally is the 15 minutes that I've got between getting the kids from school, figuring out what's for dinner, and going live and just sharing some nuggets of wisdom. Hey, Nat, good to see you too. And hey, thanks for that comment too on my family photo. I appreciate that. All right, so today we're going to get into it. I talked about this on Friday. Conrad knows this because he was in my Brand Builder Live workshop that I was doing. This was a virtual event that I held on Friday, helping people to get their personal brands in order for 2021. And the question and the topic that I wanted to go over today is, why do you need a word of the year? And why is it important to have a word of the year? And I'll be honest, I didn't always have a word of the year. I know for years I was like, I don't even know what that's for. But as of like 2018, I religiously started creating this word of the year because it truly is something that guides me for the year. And I'm going to share why it's a good idea, why you should have one as well. So my word of the year, just so you guys know, and I know a few of you already know that, is the word momentum. And I say it and I just get all pumped up and excited and motivated to keep moving because it is literally what drives me. That word is driving me, just like the word that you've chosen. Maybe your word is fearless. I've heard that a lot. Maybe your word is adventure. Whatever your word is, it really is that driving force and that purpose of why you do the things you do. So I saw this article as I was doing research. I love to do my research. And it talks about the word of the year. Oh yes, Conrad, rock and roll. I do remember that was your word, or your words for the year. So your word of the year, what I found is it really is something that resonates so deeply with you. And Conrad, I'm going to ask you in the chat, tell us why rock and roll is your word of 2021. What is it about rock and roll that just gets you all pumped up, excited, happy, whatever that is? I'd love to hear it so I can bring that back to this live stream. It also helps you achieve your goals. So it helps you to keep ultra focused on what you've set out to do for the year. And it's how you become who you envision for the end of the year. Okay, so I'm going to share a couple of the words that I had leading up to this year, 2021. So in 2018, I'm going to share my word was selfish, and people could look at that and go, "Oh my gosh, Tisha, really? Selfish is your word?" Hey, Karen Loomis, good to see you on Facebook, tuning in. Yes, my word was selfish, and I think that back in 2018, I needed to be a little bit selfish, and the reason is I had gone through a lot of personality tests. I tell people in my personal branding that I want you to go through some personality tests, because what you find as a result sometimes is very glaring. Sometimes it's looking at you in the face and you're like, I don't know if I really want to be that person. And so I made my word selfish in 2018 because I knew that I needed to take back my time. I needed to stop people pleasing. I needed to stop saying yes to every opportunity. And I needed to figure out what my life, what my brand, what all of that looked like moving forward. So 2018, my word was selfish. In 2019, my word was courage. My best friend Gwen had actually given me a bracelet that said courage, so it made it easy for me. And I wore that thing religiously, this gold bracelet that said courage on it. And hey, Valerie, good to see you. Hey, girl. And that word really carried me through a lot of deep, dark times. I remember I was actually working for a job I hated. I had a boss that was super passive aggressive, and having the word courage actually was what prompted me to quit that day job and to really start figuring out on my own, to start moving ahead, to start building up my business, to start becoming a professional speaker. It really did carry me. So just as this article that I was telling you about, having that word of the year actually keeps you so focused and so grounded, and it helps filter your decisions for what you're about to do next. You run those decisions through it. It pushes you out of your comfort zone. So as my word in 2019 was courage, my word in 2020 was value. And value for me meant a couple of different things. It meant that I was valuing my family. It meant that I wasn't devaluing my worth anymore, and that I was providing extreme value in every scenario, whether that was posting on LinkedIn or doing a video like this or hosting my Social Connect event. I wanted to make sure that people didn't walk away empty-handed, that they got something of value and they didn't waste their time. And that was a really big word for me. And some of you have used that word. I know Daphne Dixon has shared that value is her word for this year too. It's a great word. I highly encourage it. If that's what you're about, giving value, then make sure value is your word. So my word for the year is momentum. And as I shared last Tuesday, I embarked on a new adventure this year. I am getting my real estate license, and I just started taking classes yesterday. They're 5-hour days, 10-minute breaks in between. Conrad knows, since he's also a realtor. And I'm doing this for a specific purpose, not so much that I can quit everything I'm doing and become a realtor full time, but that I can utilize it to leverage opportunities, to also keep doing more personal branding, which is something that I absolutely love to do, and to also have that a skill set that can carry me in so many different facets. You know, I can help in a real estate office, I can become a realtor, I can help people with personal branding who are realtors, all of those different things, and it adds an additional income stream for my family. Hey, thanks, Karen. Nice shift is what she's saying here. Yeah, I thought so too. I definitely came up with that over the holidays. I was like, this is a good idea. Actually, I had some help. Conrad and a couple other clients were like, hey, you should get this. So kudos to them for encouraging me to just do it, right? But that word momentum is why I am starting to go in that direction, and why I'm like, okay, it's the second week of the new year. How are we going to keep pushing it? How are we going to keep building it? What are we going to do to keep moving it forward? And that's why momentum is my word for this year, because it's so strong for me to be able to envision that momentum and go, to keep moving in that direction, to not hold back, to keep challenging myself, to keep taking the risks, and so on. So yes, Valerie, I remember that. You are also an agent. There's so many agents. I guess it comes down to how many agents are active and how many are just saying they're active but not actually doing. I actually want to be putting that practice into play, but doing it in a very creative way, things that I love to do. So I want to share this with you. I had several people like Conrad who'd said rock and roll. The reason why he picked that is because to him, it signifies fun and action. Yes, fun and action. And Conrad, I know, being a realtor, you definitely want to stand out and be known for fun and action. That you get things done, but you also can have a little humor and a little bit of fun with the clients too. Some of the other words that people shared with me, just even on my Convo and my Camry that I put up on LinkedIn last Friday, Laurel had put up renew. Great word. Lewis put up groovy. Okay, Karen, yours is monetize. Hey, that's important. You got to be monetizing in your business or else you have a hobby. I know that Aliette put inspiring. We also had opportunity coming from Stephen Liu. And I just want to stop on that. Opportunity. That is a fantastic word, because what do we say? We always have to be seeking out those opportunities. Opportunities don't always just come knocking on our door. We have to make those opportunities happen. I did a live stream last year sometime, you guys might remember, but I talked about, do you believe in luck? And I've said that I don't really believe in luck. I believe in that hard work, that talent, all of those things, they pay off. And that's when you get those opportunities. And it may be misconstrued as, oh, that girl's just lucky, she gets everything handed to her. But what you don't see is behind the scenes, all of those things you had to work for to get to that opportunity. And then Roseanne also saying that momentum was her word, and momentum not just in business, but in life and exercise and all of those great things. So it carries over throughout her whole life, not just in her business life. And then Pauline sharing that her word of the year is adventure. And so those are a couple of examples, a couple of words of the year that people shared with me all throughout Friday up until today. And I want to just say thank you. Thanks so much for taking this little exercise seriously, because it is important. It's important that you come up with that word, because as I was sharing, it will really be your guiding force, your guiding principle, and that filter. I remember when I was doing vision boards, and I love doing these vision mini books, and I've shared them a couple times here on this live stream. But you know, sometimes we want to put everything in the kitchen sink on our vision board. Sometimes we want to just take on all of these things that we really stretch ourselves thin. And a really good question to ask yourself is, does what I want to take on fully align with the vision that I have for myself? If I add that one thing to my plate, then I have to let go of something to make room for it, right? So if you can go, well, okay, so momentum, if I do this, is it helping me get momentum or is it pushing me back 10 more steps? Right? So you have to be looking at this bigger picture and seeing if that word, if what you want to add into your plate aligns with that vision, that mission, that purpose, that meaning for you. All right, so that's what I've got for you today. If you guys have any questions, you guys know where to find me, or you can catch the replay. I actually have a quiche in the oven, so it's time to go get that bad boy out of the oven before it burns. So that's it for Tisha Talks Live. If you guys have any questions, I do catch the replay and I do comment back. So make sure that you shoot me a comment and I will respond to that. And this Tisha Talks Live will be back on Thursday at 4:45, same time, same place, on YouTube, on Facebook, and on LinkedIn, thanks to StreamYard. And I will see you guys. Have a great rest of your night. Bye-bye.